Radiant team's turn to ban.
Use mana, get kill. Dota is so easy actually.
Dire team's turn to ban.
Іди з лайну, розбійник.
NAVI looking to create a little bit of a gap between them and the bottom of the table, and one move looking to get off the mark and get the first win of this DPC tour. And Harry,
Radiant team ban.
looking at these teams, you know, any thoughts going into today?
Well,
Dire team ban.
overall, the first two series, I would say we probably know who's gonna win, especially the second one. And then the third one is gonna be the highlight of the day, where Team Spirit and Darkside, it could really go either way. From what we see from both
Radiant
teams,
team's
they have their
turn to
ups, they
pick.
have their downs, and both
Dire
of them
team's turn to
are
pick.
quite strong as well. But yeah, I'm looking at it, and the first two series that you and me are gonna be on, Rob, looking very, very hard for both NAVI and One Move. I understand your point. You wanna see NAVI maybe get themselves away from the Amiga in One Move, solidify
10 seconds remaining.
their spot in the Division 1, or One
5
Move beating
seconds
Bed
remaining.
Boom. I mean, currently it's looking very tough to do for both of them.
Dire team's turn to pick.
One move. I mean, they have taken
Radiant
games.
team's turn to pick.
Looking at the
Silencer.
the recent results,
Radiant
they
team
did take
ban.
a game off Team Spirit. Not so lucky against
Beastmaster.
HellRaisers though, so they are looking to bring out a massive performance here to try and, like I say, get themselves the first series, trying to keep themselves in this Division 1 of the DPC. But it is going to be NAVI versus HellRaisers as our first series. And HellRaisers, if we take a
10
look
seconds
again,
remaining.
they are pushing up. They're in second place
5
at the
seconds
minute.
remaining.
This win would take them to 4-1, which would probably be, you know, it wouldn't guarantee them the major, but they'd be pretty damn close at securing it if they did pick up this victory today. So they do take out the Rubik. They've got the Beastmaster in the draft, taking out the Ricky and the Tusk from the draft pool. Meanwhile, on the side of NAVI, Silencer and the Death Prophet comes out, Nature's Prophet, and the Brood Mama being taken away by the side of NAVI. I'm surprised the Rubik got through.
Dire team's
but
turn to ban.
the Lena is still there as well. Rider's being banned out. Do you think Lena gets through the second phase?
Wait, let me look at it. I think NAVI is gonna ban it. Right, I don't see NAVI letting it through. There's a Beastmaster on the other side. If you have perfect vision with the Lena, you're gonna be in
10
trouble.
seconds
On the
remaining.
other hand, you said surprising about the bans. I have to say,
5
now there's
seconds
so many
remaining.
heroes that have been kind of solidified as extremely powerful for
Radiant
most of
team's
the
turn to
teams.
ban.
So I'm looking at these bans, and they look pretty normal to me, because Ricky, you have to take it out from NAVI. It's kind of the only hero that they're looking really good with.
Yeah.
DP is the weird one for me, because that has been the first pick for most of the teams, and
10 seconds
really
left.
hero looks
Decided?
amazing in both pubs and in competitive Dota.
5
But I already
seconds remaining.
like what HellRaisers have gotten to deal with DP. They have some burst with the Rubik, and they have BKB piercing lockdown from the Beastmaster. Plus, any carry hero you pair up with the Beast is gonna have some type of burst to
Yeah.
help you with the Death Prophet. So I'm kind of scared for this Death Prophet. Luckily, she has a silencer, so that might help.
Yeah, but then you've got to look at,
Use mana,
like you
get
say, the
killed.
Beast being able to provide
Dota
the
is so
attack
easy,
speed
actually.
to any right-click carry that comes out here from HellRaisers, being able to burst through Death Prophet. So maybe something like a Terrorblade coming into the mid
I don't
to like him,
consider
or
myself
Morphling
the best
here for
player.
HellRaisers. I know Dahak, you know, he likes that Naga Siren as well. Being able to drop the song, if you can get the song to stop the global sounds from coming out, and then maybe, you know, because at some point that Death Prophet is going to pick up a BKB. So if you can isolate it from the rest of the team, or just
Dire
from
team
the
ban.
supports, HellRaisers could look to take this hero down. Meanwhile, again, on the side of NAVI, this, like I say, the silencer is that's going to be offering a lot of protection coming into these fights. But the Death Prophet with the tower push potential, we've seen that these early towers, you know, the early map control coming out can be life or
10
death
seconds
in some of
remaining.
these series. So NAVI with the first pick Death Prophet, yeah, looking absolutely
Radiant
to take
team's turn
control
to
early
ban.
on.
Especially when you have these pushing heroes, you need to be able to take down towers. So I'm very curious to see how HellRaisers are gonna stop it. Also, you know, HellRaisers might take a different approach. What we've been seeing from them and how they've played very successfully
10 seconds
has
remaining.
been them pushing out the waves, right?
Yeah.
Just never letting the
5
enemies
seconds
fight. That's why
remaining.
they have been so good with the Naga. That's why they have been so good with the Nature's Prophet. So I'm curious to see which approach they take. Usually with the Beastmaster, you might want to get together at some point of the game, given
Dire
how,
team's turn to
how he
ban.
buffs up any carry hero. But I don't know if that's HellRaisers style, if that's something that they want to be gunning for. So I wouldn't mind them going for strong position 5 in the lane, and then going for a Naga Siren that you mentioned, just making sure that Navi never really get to a
10
point
seconds
where
remaining.
they can force out a fight, even though they have 2 big team fight ultimates.
Yeah,
5
and
seconds
we look
remaining.
at, again, the bans. The fact that coming into the DPC, Treant was like one of the top bans in the first phase. He's not been banned out here, which means he is still available for HellRaisers, which, if you need to delay the game, you know, what better hero to do it than the Treant that's going to keep those towers healthy, you know, it's going to keep them from falling. It's going to buy that space and time for the Naga Siren to go into the jungle and find that farm, to come out like the hack likes to do, comes out 20 minutes later and says, right, ready lads, let's get fighting.
The hero, it's sometimes very hard to pick him when you know that the enemies have a lot of push, and we have been seeing more of the Death Prophet. So, you know, you might stop her from pushing, but a better way to stop the Death Prophet from pushing is by killing her, where the Treant doesn't really help you even one bit. So I'm not surprised that it's getting pulled out of the meta. It's normal. Metas always switch. One hero becomes stronger, the other one just stops feeling that great, and then you just let it go.
Dire
I'm really
team's
curious
turn
what
to pick.
Navi bans here. Lena, see, okay, they go
Radiant
for the
team's
CK.
turn to
Okay,
pick.
that does make sense. They don't do well against illusions, and they wouldn't want to play against burst damage. And really, the Hawk played a mean CK 2 days ago, so it is something that they should be
Use
afraid
mana,
of.
get killed.
Yeah.
Dota is so easy, actually.
Sweden Strong, Techies player, do you know?
10
Because we
seconds
saw an
remaining.
amazing Techies Tiny combo coming out the other day. And
5
Techies seems to be
seconds
really
remaining.
popular in the Eastern European region as well.
I would like it. I think Techies is actually quite nice. The problem I have with Navi's lineup currently, they don't have much of wave clear, right? If you're wave clearing with the Tiny, you're showing he's not ganking. Even if you get a hero that he can gank with and just kill people, you
Radiant
need to get
team's
that
turn to
vision
pick.
to be able to make it happen. So I'm not sure about it. We'll see how it works out. And HellRaisers, they get an Invoker. As far as I know, this is their first Invoker in the DPC so far. I mean, Kiyotaka has for me been the standout performer for them.
10
But,
seconds remaining.
I don't think I've seen him play this one. Yeah, I'm looking through the games. This is the
5
this is the
seconds
first time.
remaining.
Yeah, no, I can't see one either. No invokers just yet in the DPC, but yeah, there it is, Kiyotaka picking it up, and like you say, it is going to be the debut
Dire
here for the
team's turn to
Kiyotaka
pick.
Invoker, at least on HellRaisers. Clockwork comes out again, one of the strongest supports in the game at the minute. He's just able to, you know, being able to get that gap close. It does mean that a Lena pick coming out for the side of Navi. It doesn't even look like the hero's being considered at the minute. And yeah, with the
10
Clockwork
seconds
coming out, just
remaining.
having that quick gap close, the disruption as well before the BKB comes out for the Lena, which
5 seconds
is
remaining.
usually the focus, you know, that first item that the Lena wants to go for, but it still means that you do have the surprise to get on top, and then the follow-up, like you say, coming through with the raw from the Beastmaster, even when that BKB is going. This Lena, if it does get picked out for Navi, could be in a world of hurt, and maybe this is where, you know, Navi, they do consider something else. And I'm not saying they were going to pick it up, it's just that it's been so popular in every single, you know, but now people are joking if the patch doesn't come, it is going to be the Lena meta coming into the major. And at the minute, it just doesn't look very strong in this draft so far for me.
I don't think so. People overestimate heroes all the time. They underestimate heroes all the time. The thing is how it can be implemented. As soon as some other heroes start being played, as soon as the
Radiant
hero
team
starts
ban.
being overplayed, there is going to be a response. Because everyone is, before they even go to sleep in the evening, thinking, how do you counter the Lena? How do you counter the Lena? What are you going to do? And then in every pub, if it's played, everyone is getting used to it. And then you don't get picked off or destroyed as many times. You're not as strong later on with the Lena.
10
and
seconds
it's a
remaining.
problem. Navi, they go for the Zeus. This is something that they played in the past. I think
5
they needed the
seconds
vision hero,
remaining.
and I like it.
Dire
But
team
I have to
ban.
say, I like what HellRaisers have more, because when you look at their lineup, it's really, and you've watched their previous series, I would be very surprised if this is a Quaswex Invoker. I think it's going to be Exort. And we talked about them. They need burst, but they like to split push. Well, this is the perfect of two worlds. You have the Exort Invoker. You're always going to be able
10
to contribute
seconds
to the
remaining.
Sunstrike. You get 3 heroes that all 3 of them can set up for it.
Radiant team's
and
turn to
you're
ban.
just split pushing and making sure that the lanes are pushed in with the if you don't see anyone on the map, you can do it with the Force Spirits. If you feel safe, you might as well do it yourself. So I like it quite a lot. I think it's pretty much up HellRaisers' alley. We haven't seen a
seconds
Kiyotaka
remaining.
Invoker, as we mentioned, but the way that he has been playing, I have no doubt
5
that
seconds
he
remaining.
can pull it off.
Yeah, and you have that lane pressure as
team's
well. You know,
turn
the
to
Forge
ban.
Spirit's coming out from the Invoker that he doesn't even need to be on the lane to try and push out that lane. Like I say, with the Forge Spirits, they will just be able to apply pressure by themselves, which it can create space for the Beastmaster to take over the offlane as well. Because we
Radiant
know
team's turn to pick.
a lot of the offlaners at the minute, you know, they do like to stick on that offlane, take the tier 1 tower down as quickly as possible, and then move through, put pressure onto the tier 2, try and drag the other team towards them and create space for the rest of the team. And Invoker can do that on other lanes as well, which may make the job easier for the Beastmaster, and responding to ganks on the
10
Beastmaster as well, being
seconds
able to push
remaining.
out with the Forge Spirits, and then TP yourself up if there is pressure being put on the Beastmaster.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm looking what the HellRaisers want. Do they pick up a Naga? Really? Like, it's not out of the question. With some other teams, if I would see a draft like that, I'd be like, nope. But they seem to have had an idea of how to pull it off. The problem I would see with that hero is they cannot defend towers. That's why I like the Medusa ban, actually, because she can stand her ground and defend towers, and it would be very hard for Navi to get in front. So maybe a hero that doesn't get bursted down easily. Illusions are gonna get killed easily by the Zeus, by the Tiny, so you'll still be able to push. So what is hard to kill?
Dire team's turn
What
to pick.
stays in lane for a long time? Life Stealer?
A Luna?
Okay, I wasn't expecting that hero. Like, no way.
No, I don't think... Has she been played
Anyone
in
was.
any region at all ever? In 20... Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw a
10
Luna even
seconds
being
remaining.
considered.
That's a weird one. I guess what
5
HellRaisers are going
seconds
for is
remaining.
split push, get this hero very farmed, and then just end the game. It's the problem I see with it is I don't see it as a very good tower defender, and I think HellRaisers needed that. But I think it fits the plan, but you're gonna have to give away some of the towers, right? Unless you can always burst down the Death Prophet, and it's very naive that you think that you can always do it, right? Especially
choose
once
your
the Global
hero.
Science and the Thunder God's Wrath come out. And Navi will get a Naga, which is actually a really good pick. Lanes well against the Beastmaster. Later on down the line, it's pretty solid against the Luna. Invoker, if you get Silence before you get the BKB, and you're probably going to be going for an Orchid in this game, you can be in a lot of trouble. The supports don't deal with illusions. This is actually a race against time for HellRaisers. It's actually, it got pretty interesting. I favored HellRaisers a lot coming into this series, but now when I see this Naga Siren and the lineup of HellRaisers, you have so many ways.
Use mana,
to-
get killed.
25 to
Oh, I
30
see.
minutes if HellRaisers don't really overtake the map at that point. Until the Invoker gets massively strong, the Naga illusions are gonna pose a problem for you. So I'm really liking this. This gives Navi the ability to push out the waves without much committal, allowing the Tiny to gank. Do I believe that Navi will win? Well, probably not, just because they haven't been impressing me. Not because their draft is bad, but I think they actually came prepared today, and they definitely know what they're doing. So I'm quite curious to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, I just think that the the hack, you know, if this Naga tries to go up against the Luna, I think the Luna's just going to be able to cleave through the Naga illusions. HellRaisers have been playing incredibly aggressive to the point where I don't know if they're going to get the time and space to get the Naga Siren to any... She is going to be able to stand up to the Luna. I think this Luna's just going to be able to
Prepare for
once the
battle.
bouncing glaives are taking effect on these illusions, just going to be able to clean up against this Naga Siren. And I'm looking forward to Navi proving me wrong, because that seems to have more options than not at the minute. But I just don't see, with the way HellRaisers play, Navi getting through once the hack is super powerful. But guys, if you think you know which way this game is going to go, you can check out our sponsors over at EGB. You know, you can check that out because you can see the odds there on the screen as well. If you put a deposit down, your first deposit with EGB, you will get a bonus deposit up to $600, reflecting the amount you put in. That is available to you if you want to head over to our sponsors over at EGB.
Oh, so it's gonna be a mid lane Zeus. Okay. This is a problem for me actually, because if Sweden Strong doesn't have
30
a good
seconds to
game,
battle.
this Luna is not gonna be dying. The Luna needs to die once, maybe twice in the mid game. You know, from 15 to 25 minutes just to slow her down. If you're slowing down the Luna, you are creating more space for Naga Sirens to get her third item, right? So it's usually Manta, Orchid into a heart. And then with that heart, you will be able to prevent the pushes from HellRaisers that are going to be coming in strong. So I'm looking towards Sweden Strong, but every single time he has played the Tiny, it has been a rough game for him. Every single time he's gotten like a 20-minute blink. That's not going to be... That cannot happen in this game. If it does, it's a really big issue.
Yeah, and I was looking to it being a mid-tiny there as well. You know, getting that quick blink, looking for the blow up onto the supports, because even with Solo on the clockwork, not really going to be the tankiest hero in the world. Could look at the rotations, even the Luna as well. You know, just being able to get a quick jump on top of the Luna before the BKB comes out. The hack could suffer a lot here, so I'm really surprised it is going to be that position for Tiny.
I mean, it does lane better with the death concept, and that's it. I just hope that Navi aren't going for such a... I really like the aggression on the bottom lane coming out from HellRaisers, especially once the Luna gets a point in Lunar Blessing. It is going to make the clockwork very, very powerful. But this is the way to play. Pressure the Death Prophet before she gets her levers, because when she does, this hero really is just impossible to deal with.
Yeah, up on the top lane here as well, you can see that, you know, there's some harass going the way of Legion on the Nag Siren. And in the mid lane, Kiyotaka, Nikki Cool, trading off mana for damage. And Kiyotaka, it's coming up a little bit worse at the minute, but he does have the point into the Quartz. So he's going to have that regen coming through.
It's normal for the Invoker to suffer a little bit early on. Zeus has been over the years buffed in terms of right clicks, so he doesn't always have to use his Chain Lightning to get a kill. And on the creep, and also it does give him some deny push also. But when you get some Forge Spirits and stuff like that down the line, then it's gonna be a little bit easier for the Invoker. You are relying mostly on Sunstrikes. I mean, the laning phase, it is important, but if you're getting the Sunstrike kills, that is what you want to happen.
Yeah, and you can see the job of the two supports. Well, top lane, Malady is going to be taking some aggression coming through. But yeah, on the bottom lane, you can see that it's just the job of the two supports to pull these lanes through. You know, you've got the Luna as well as the Death Prophet last hitting behind that tier 2 tower. So it's not even going to be like, you know, the hack's going to be throwing these lucent beams out, getting aggressive. The Spirit Siphons coming through from lanes. They're just happy for the supports to, you know, pull the Congo wave towards them and get that potential free farm behind the two towers. And you know, the support's making sure there isn't a fourth lane coming out in the river or in the jungle anywhere, and just making sure these two cores do get the farm.
I'm also liking how HellRaisers that they're pulling the waves, and then Miero is behind the tower, allowing him to stack. Right, Navi, they haven't blocked the camp here, playing up against Luna. Luna wants to stay in the lane for as long as possible. You will have that night vision, so it's going to be easier for you to survive. But as soon as you're going into the jungle, ideally you have stacks. Right, yeah. So it's gonna be quite big for him to have those, and already HellRaisers have started stack. You can already see the Rubik also on the map moving towards the area, and it's protected by vision. So HellRaisers are putting a lot of emphasis on boosting up the farm on the Luna. I think that's the smart approach. You need Luna is a timing based hero, right? If you want to win off of her back, you need to do it early, right? And of course you have the late game Invoker for you and the vision from the Beastmaster, but ideally the way that you want your draft to work is that you can take away a lot from the first or the second Aegis.
Bottom lane. Solo could be in a little bit of trouble here, being chased down. Spirit Siphon, he does drop the cogs here, but is he going to be able to get it? It's going to be fine. He gets himself back underneath that tier 1. Pops himself, going to be able to get himself back to a decent amount of health. Looking towards his boots as well, but just ferrying out regen at the minute to keep himself sustained, just to be able to go right back in on this. And the lane does seem to be, you know, the creepy equilibrium has pushed right back into the middle of the lane, so we might see a little bit more aggression coming out now on this bottom lane.
We see that Laze is
Radiant's
really
courier has
suffering.
been
Looking at
killed.
all of the cores, they're all doing well. Now there's no loss on Sweden Strong. That's why he was so aggressive. If it was level 3 on the Tiny, he would think twice about getting so close
Radiant's
with the
top
creeps being
tower
under the
deserves
tower.
just as much help as bottom.
Even the neutral getting involved here with the net. But again, up on the top lane, you can see that Antares, he's not just good. We've talked about how the Rubik can trade in damage, you know, before. You look at him, he's taking 60 plus 2 at the minute, plus the Fade Bolt coming out there. He's going to deal with these early mirror images on the Naga Siren. And in the mid lane, how's the trade going? I mean, the farm is pretty much equal in terms of last hits between these two heroes here in the mid lane.
Yep, though Kiyotaka, he has had the opportunity to maybe use a Sunstrike for something out from his team. Obviously, early levels, HellRaisers, they can't really set it up. But Nicky Cool is getting close to his level 6. I think Nicky Cool might actually go to the base once he's level 6. You need the mana. He's gonna have the Arcane boost though, but you need the mana. Threat of the Thunder God's Wrath might actually be our first blood, because we're seeing that no one is really putting their lives in any kind of danger. If you look at the HP pools of everyone, they're pretty much topped up, apart from the Zeus, who, I mean,
Radiant's
very
top
low chances of
tower
him
has
going down,
looked
even
better.
with the support rotations.
Yeah, and on the bottom lane there, it's going to be that Sunstrike inside the cogs. Can he have enough damage to take down the Death Prophet? Death Prophet trying to run himself away here, Laze. Can he get himself back? Where's the Lucent Beam? Doesn't have the mana for it on the Luna, and now Solo's going to be in trouble. The Crypt Swarm comes through, and Solo, he needs to walk himself away from this. Sweden Strong doesn't have the mana for the toss back, so it looks like both heroes here are going to get out by the skin of the teeth, and the first blood, it obviously comes on the other lane here. Antares takes down Malady, and no revenge coming through from the Naga Siren, so it looks like the Rubik going to get away fine.
Yep, on the bottom lane, if someone makes a mistake and gets overly aggressive, they can always run out. On top lane HellRaisers, if the silencer gets out of place, he will get slowed down by the boars, and he will eventually fall.
Yeah, and look, oh, they might be able to get Solo this time. Solo does pick up the Arcane, and the cogs are down. Kiyotaka going to try and do his best to get something from this, but he might not be able to get the trade with the two supports rotating in now as well. Kiyotaka has to be careful. Sweden Strong taking a lot of damage from those Forge Spirits, but he's going to be able to get himself back uphill and should be fine. Sunstrike not going to land off the mark this time here from the Invoker.
Nice try, but it's not gonna be there, man. Kiyotaka standing his ground there against 3 heroes. Really, they had nothing else left in the tank. It's used without much mana. You know, the 2 supports already using their spells. He knew that he could stand his ground, but even with the power treads, he can't do enough. I'm curious to see when and if Kiyotaka gets a Midas. Usually, Exort Invokers get it like 100% super early on, but he's still not putting it up in quick buy, so that's a little bit interesting. Okay, he's going for the drums. He wants to get involved, even personally, in this game with all of the attack speed that they're gonna have. They're really gunning for this timing. HellRaisers, they are.
Yeah, and you can see that at the minute BO3 is being left alone on the top lane to find some farm, but on the bottom lane again, they're gonna try, and the cogs and the Avalanche just cancelling each other out. It seems like. Looking at the Luna build as well, so before Luna went on hiatus from the meta, I was seeing 1 point into the Lucent Beam, and then you just go Moonglaves into the Lunar Blessing. You don't even get the Eclipse until around level 11, where you can go 11, 12 into the 2 points into the ultimate. But here to have, he's looking for the points into the Lucent Beam. Is that because of Solo and being able to drop the cogs? Do you want to be prioritizing the Eclipse coming out for the Luna?
No. I think the idea is he wants to stay in the lane longer.
Yeah.
You might get the Eclipse earlier. Okay, the hockey just hurts. Look at Sweden Strong's armor.
Yeah, the right click damage. He got the toss away, and Kiyotaka is going to be able to get the kill onto the silencer. Thunder God's Wrath comes out in the river now as well. V-Tune going to be in a lot of trouble. Can he get himself away from this Kiyotaka? One more right click. He's going to be able to take down the Naga Siren. 3 for 2 here coming through. Nicky Cool out of mana. Couldn't hand around. Sunstrike. It comes down, but it doesn't actually hit onto Sweden Strong. So with less than 20 health here, Sweden Strong going to be able to roll himself away from the lane. Probably goes right back to the fountain. He doesn't come back in. No. No.
actually surprised that Navi were so aggressive there in the enemy jungle. They put so much emphasis on the Beastmaster not getting those stacks. If it was the Luna, maybe I would get it. But Miero was the one there, and you killed him. Sure, what now? He's still gonna come with the Helm of the Dominator. He's gonna take her tower. So very, very overly aggressive move coming up from the Malady on top. Oh, he's gone.
Telekinesis, the drag back, he even gives it over to the Beastmaster here with the Skelly army coming through from that the Dark Troll Summoner. And it's just a great position and a great sense of mind to say, I don't need to take this kill, I can give it over to the Beastmaster. No panic here from Antares to make sure that kill goes the way of his call.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
The Sunstrikes have really been on point. The only thing that has been securing them has been the cogs, and now Invoker is rotating again. They want the Naga Siren, and he has no point to use the Song of the Siren on. But now he's gonna be okay. If Kiyotaka doesn't find him, shouldn't be able to. Nice presence of mind from B-Tune to understand being hunted. He also had vision there.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
It's easy for him to read the situation.
And they're just gonna be, you want to contest our farm, we're gonna move into your jungle and contest your stacks. You know, how are you gonna like this Naga Siren? Naga, V-Tune, he just has to move himself up to the triangle. And you can see that, like I said, the Invoker, he's finding these stacks. He's got the 2 Forge Crates now, so he is just gonna be able to pressure. And in fact, he might even be able to go on to build the hack. He's gonna move off the lane really darn early here to get onto the Invoker. The Invoker's gonna be able to get
a kill here. To last long.
Onto Zeus. Zeus did get the arcane rune.
Looks like Dire fortified their
Kiyotaka, the hack grouping up to get the kill onto the Zeus.
Really
nice rotation off, and the hack's saying, okay, I've got the 1 point into the bounce blade, 2 points now as he levels up. But he's feeling confident that HellRaisers have applied enough pressure that he can move out early and help secure these towers, give the space over to Sorrel so he can look for that quick 6 to get the hookshot off.
Very weird that this was allowed from Navi. They have vision in their top part of the map. They knew pretty much where HellRaisers were moving. And okay, you let the tower go. That's fine. If you take the bottom one, it's not ideal, but at least you made something happen.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's
giving a bonus
bottom
kill on the
tower.
Zeus, I wasn't expecting that to happen. So Nicky Cool just getting pushed into an uncomfortable position. That is normal when the enemy team is just playing faster than you are. That's what's happening here. HellRaisers, they're moving around the map faster, and Navi, they don't have time to respond with enough heroes.
Yeah, and you can see that, I mean, it cost him the full exorcism there as well to get that bottom tier 1 tower. V-Tune moving into the Raging Jungle. This is where he's feeling comfortable. I say comfortable, this is where he thinks safest, because you can see that HellRaisers on the other side of the map, there is only the solo on the Clockwork here, looking to scout this out. And again, the Beastmaster just moves himself into the triangle. He finds the farm. Yo, he's looking for that quick
on Dire's top tower.
Invoker is going to be one applying the pressure with the catapult towards this tier 2 tower on the top lane. Antares backing him up as well. Close. And the Rubik, he's even got the chain lightning, so he's going to be able to bounce these around, clean off this creep wave, and just keep the pressure on with the skeletons coming in as well from this Dark Troll Summoner. There's going to be a rotation up from late, but with no exorcism, I don't know how he defends this. And even with the exorcism, if he tries to get aggressive with it, he just gets controlled out by the Invoker. And with 3 heroes, again, the Raw available as well as the Telekinesis. No BKB on the death spot, he just get cleaned up.
And look at how low Navi are there, and also Sweet and Strong.
Radiant's middle
he has
tower
600 gold, so he's nowhere close to Blink Dagger. You cannot make a play now. Even if the Naga Siren, she's not going to be able to push out the lanes, Navi cannot make a play. It's just impossible. And HellRaisers, they know where the line is. They can pull out now, or they can just turn around and get the kills.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the kill. They do lose the Rubik, but they get the kill onto the Tiny. And Nicky Cool, again, completely out of mana. Malady was there, but if they want to try and turn onto the clock, it's going to be coming in. Level 6, that's going to be the Rocket Flare. He's looking for that hook shot. Malady might be the target. He is going to be the target. And now there's all the cogs to push back. It will be the strike misses, but Malady's going to be taken down nonetheless here. Kiyotaka not missing with those right clicks.
Oh, this doesn't even look close currently. The only good thing that's happening for Navi is that V-Tune is getting solid amounts of farm, but this Naga Siren would need to apply more pressure so as her teammates are not dying, because it has gotten to a point now with Clockwork having the hook shot that whoever gets hook shotted pretty much dies. Even this Death Prophet with the mech and 3 points in Spirit Siphon, I still don't see him surviving, unless of course you use the global size, but you are using it defensively. You want to use it offensively. And now HellRaisers, they have the drums, they have the Beastmaster. Luna is also very, very powerful, and they walk into the Roche Pit. There is absolutely nothing that Navi can do. Maybe if they had a Naga Siren there with the song, but considering that VQ doesn't have it, then nothing is definitely the case. The Roche is gone. Just from one objective to another, HellRaisers, they're gaining ground.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about in the draft as well, that the Naga Siren going after the Manta style, you know, to help get that push out. But the hack, he's already looking, he's got the Dragon Lance coming through, he's level 9, he's got the 3 points into the Bouncing Glaives now, so he did leave off from that Eclipse. He's going to be going into the BKB.
Mega kill!
The Manta doesn't really help. It's cool, he's going to be taken down by a key attacker, but the Manta doesn't really help in this situation because the Luna's still going to be able to cleave those illusions, mirror images anyway, even if they do come out from the Manta. It does offer a little bit of protection to the Naga Siren if he gets gone up. But in the grand scheme of things, you know, this Manta style doesn't really matter, and I don't know if he's going to have the time here, B2, to get anything else before the Luna starts to get aggressive. And we get the kill onto Antares. Antares maybe overextending, but again, he's buying time, he's scouting out, he's seeing where the heroes are, and this just means that the Luna can farm through the triangle into the Dire jungle. They've already taken that tier 2 tower on the top lane there as well, so this entire jungle for the side of HellRaisers on the side of the Dire is just free farm for them.
The support dying aggressively, it's not that big a deal, but I can already see HellRaisers are preparing for the end of this game because they're going for BKBs. We had a kind of a talk about it. You buy BKBs usually when you're 100% certain that there's gonna be a fight happening, and then you want to. What HellRaisers are doing now is that they're getting to a point where very soon they're going to be pushing into the enemy base. So what's going to happen? You get 2 BKBs, you go from tower to tower, you go into Roche, and then you go high ground. You just systematically, you do it. And Navi, I mean, I would put all my resources in Sweden Strong getting this Blink Dagger, because there's just no play to be made. Like, even if stronger, which they're not, how are you gonna start the fight? How are you gonna push back HellRaisers? The Naga illusions aren't nearly strong enough currently to push in the waves enough for you to make plays. This is just a very, very very hard situation for Navi. You wouldn't want to be in this kind of a spot if you were them.
Yeah, and again, we've seen it. Oh, we might even be able to make a move. The hook shot comes through. This is a perfect ward here. Nicky Cool. Kiyotaka gets himself another kill on the board. The Invoker isn't even in the fight. And like you say, he's just applying pressure with these 6-0 and 2. Making his way over to the Naga Siren. The Naga Siren now V-Tune. You want to try and go for that TP where he is moving himself out. Maybe his Spidey senses are tingling and he just moves himself out. But this is what I was talking about. Look at this. The Luna is creating space for Kiyotaka to be able to move to split push out the bottom lane.
Someone better help Dire's middle tower. Dire's middle tower
needed
just
the
went
farm,
down.
Kiyotaka, he was applying the pressure to the tier 2, so the Beastmaster, the Luna could find the farm. The Beastmaster, when the Invoker needed that quick item, that item power spike, the Beastmaster was creating space for the Luna and the Invoker. All 3 cores have a way to buy space and time for the rest of the other 2 cores to find their next big item. HellRaisers taking control. There is going to be the fight. The global silence does come through, though. Yeah, I think he'll be able to get the kill into it. It's going to be the death of Mero, so
Dire's bottom
a
tower
little
is
bit
under attack.
overwarranted, you know, maybe half the kills being thrown out here, but at the minute, even just 1 or 2 deaths like this, you know, Navi, they need a lot more to get themselves back into the game. With the Exorcism being up 2/3 of the way through, can they take down this tier 1 tower?
They just can't find the opening. They don't see what's going on. That is the problem. I don't think HellRaisers mind giving them the kill that much. HellRaisers will give a kill just to know where their enemies are on the map. That is the thing. That is what they want to do. That's how they gave Antares on the Rubicon in the triangle, and that's why they gave the Beastmaster. You saw 2 of their cores on the sides because they know if Navi TPs all of their heroes here, they get a kill, even 2 of them, it's not gonna change anything, right? The game still is in our favor, and considering the league that we have, we can make it happen. And that's why you're giving it away. You don't really mind. Ideally, you give away support or even run away because you have the Avalanche on the Rubik, but you still want to see all of those heroes. So you give a kill. Oh no, there are 5 here. No one cares. We just go back. We get our key items yet again, and we push 1 more time. And now what is left? The towers in the bottom lane, and the Tiny to be taken down.
Yeah, Tiny, he's going to be chased down here now. The solo, not even needed to use the hook shot. Sweeney strong. It's going to be the top coming through from Luna, but Sunstrike's going to be there.
Just as much health
Will
as
be another kill to
Dyer's
Kiyotaka.
bottom
Just
tower
secure
is
though,
under
you know,
attack.
I think Dark had it in his
Tower
grasp,
has
but
fallen.
Kiyotaka just wants to make sure because we've seen time and time again in
Dyer's
teams
bottom
and
tower is
players
being
not
chipped
confirming
away.
the kill, so Kiyotaka just wants to confirm that kill.
Well, that would be a treat.
I mean, Kiyotaka has really been on point with the Sunstrikes, and now look at it. HellRaisers there applying the pressure again in the enemy big jungle. This is what you want to do with Beastmaster every single time, and then you're creating space for Luna. I'm actually surprised that the Hawk isn't putting more emphasis on the lane, but it might just be that he feels like he doesn't need to.
These ones, Clockwork might go down. There is going to be the avatars coming through, so Malady will get the kill onto Solo. But look at, again, another deep ward just outside of the Dire base. They know the limit that they can push. That one that was just behind the tier 2 was a great scout until, in fact, Neil got a kill on the Death Prophet before it timed out as well. And now they get this one out. It's just in front of the Dire high ground. Mali will be able to get the T ward, but it's already offered them a kill, so it's already paid off, paid those dividends that they needed from that ward to be able to, you know,
Dyer's
get that
bottom tower
Clockwork in
has
with the deep
shattered
hook
to
shot
little
and find a
pieces.
pick up on another core here.
Only 1 outer tower left for Navi, and this is a problem because the next Roche is something you have to fight. Next Roche gets taken by HellRaisers, and you're in a hell of a lot of trouble. So, Navi, where's the blink on the Tiny? Okay, it's getting close. 20 minutes, man. That's just his... It seems to be his, classic timing on the blink. 16, 17 minutes is like the last timing you should get it, and every single game Sweden Strong is getting it after minute 20. Okay, now it's slightly before it. So now it's time for Navi to get a couple of kills on the aggressive and establish their vision, because that's what you're gonna need if you're to defend the next Roche.
Yeah, and you can see that the Invoker, the Luna already have those BKBs, so that if there is a jump in, quick fingers might prevail. Not easy to blow them up. Clockwork, 1400 health, Rubik, 1200 health. So, and even the Beastmaster going towards that BKB as well. He's got himself the Helm of the Overlord straight into the BKB. So these cores, even with, like you say, the timing, it is delayed from the Tiny, which means he's going to lack that flow potential now. If he gets himself in, he might be able to get himself and get an avalanche off one. But those BKBs come out, and what does he actually do in the fights?
They thought that might be the real one, but it was only an illusion that got hit by the Sunstrike. No poor Malady.
Rocket Flare, what's going to be taken away from him there as well. So Antares, he gets that last word. And the kill onto the Silencer, he's going to be dead for 26. He does have that buyback. It's not the longest death in the world there as well. So it's not going to be super awful for the Silencer, but it's still going down. Okay, this might be what Sweden Strong gets himself in. The Avatar's coming back now as well. They get the clean up onto Mero. Do they want to go any further onto this though? It looks like they're just going to be happy with the one kill onto the Beastmaster.
That's actually a good kill. That is finally a good kill because it prevents HellRaisers from pushing currently. And Navi, they might have the strength now with the global silence to win. Please force out the BKB.
Yeah. Exorcism comes out. Clockwork, though, he's going to have that Glimmer Cape. They have the reveal. They do take him down. He isn't able to get that hook shot off. And it looks like, again, HellRaisers, it is just goodbye time with Kiyotaka. You do need to leave, lad. That was the entire point of the sacrifice from Clockwork.
Nice, nice 2 kills. This is the thing, what Navi, they need now is to snowball, kill after kill after kill. Then we HellRaisers to stop moving around the map on their own, right? They're together. It is gonna give you the time to push in the lanes and prepare for a fight. So that's what's happening right now. It all happened. This was a mistake from Yarrow. Previous deaths, no, but this definitely was because you are giving away your life just before the last outer tower gets taken away. And now the Roche will be up. The lanes aren't pushed out that much for HellRaisers, so it's going to be easier for Navi to read the situation.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Mero hasn't just parked a floor in there. The Roche will respawn. It was a really quick one, so maybe the team not expecting this, but the Exorcism is going to be down for the next 86 seconds here. As these scouts out the Roche, they know it's just they have that space.
Not much good's happening
Navi
to
not even in the best
Radiant's
position
bottom
to try and contest into this because they've got nothing to TP to, even if they knew this was going on.
They can't come there in time. They're not interested. This Aegis is probably going to go to the Hawk. You want to give it to Luna. He's already creating space there in his inventory. The last one was from the inventory because it was Kiyotaka that is going to go around the map, maybe be a little bit solo, get some kills, but now it's all about pushing, and they're going towards the bottom lane, which is something I like, and also what I expected because they have been so disciplined. You don't want to push in the mid lane unless you get kills. because toss back from the Tiny is a problem. But okay, HellRaisers, they think they might be
Radiant's
able to
bottom
bring down
tower
some of
is
these
under
heroes, and then
attack.
if you do, then you don't really care much about the toss back.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that they give the Invoker the shot as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The Exorcism. Oh crap! This is going to be a high ground push. That now they
Dire's
do want
structures are
die time here for this
fortified.
middle lane of Rack because the
Radiant's
Exorcism
bottom
coming through the
tower's
clear
got
from the Hack
problems.
once he gets through this tier 3 tower with the ancient Black Dragon there as well. The bouncing glaives are going to rip through these buildings. The Exorcism is going to rip through them, so they need to do their best, even without the Zeus here, to push back against HellRaisers. He does that. Strong tells Zeus he comes out, he's going to be cleaned up, he's dead. Absolutely cleaned up here, and now the Hack. This is, yeah, look at the damage that's going to come through onto these buildings. This range rack, it's going to fall in a matter of seconds, and now they bounce onto the tier 4s, bounce around heroes as well. The Crypt one's being stolen by Andras, so with the Exorcism being down, yes, free spell slot, why not? So Attack, if he wants to carry on going here, no Tiny for the next 14 seconds. They do still have the Aegis. They have the BKBs. No, do they? Oh, okay, they use both BKBs and taking down the tier 3 and pushing onto the high ground, but that's still going to be a range racks. It means that this melee racks is going to be put under pressure just by the fact that this lane will push in now by the super range creeps.
Even with the, you know, with getting a couple of kills, it's always hard pushing in the mid lane. It's the hardest lane to take, really,
Not
just
much
because
good's
the enemies can
happening to Radiant's
position
bottom
everywhere,
tower.
and you cannot make that perfect formation to just take everything down when only one hero is taking the damage. The Hawk, of course, he didn't have the Satanic. He's not gonna have it now either. He's gonna finish off the Butterfly. But that's the thing with this Aegis, they still have enough time to go high ground. That's why Navi are making a play right now. Because next time, because you don't have a tower, you're losing a Rax, and you can't allow that to happen.
Yeah, the song is going to be there. The global sound's not going to be too far away as well. 25 seconds. But they get the roll onto the jump in from Sweden. Strong force trap trying to keep him alive. Mero's got that BKB. Clockwork comes in. It's going to top, and it's going to be a rain gauge from HellRaisers. Again, no global sounds for the next 15 seconds. Tornado comes through. Lays didn't even pop that Exorcism V-tune with the song already used. Have to run themselves away here. Now the hook shot will miss onto Nikki Cool. But from that engage from Navi, it was Navi's jump, and they still lose 2 heroes.
That was, I mean, that's the BKB from the Beastmaster. I guess in situations like these, sometimes you're gonna be happy with it. The thing is that HellRaisers, they can immediately start pushing. But BKB on the Beastmaster, and you're gonna have to defending your high ground. Okay, all of that would make sense what I just said if the Zeus doesn't die. But HellRaisers are playing faster than what Navi expects, and that has been the kind of the MO of this game.
Dire's middle barracks
Yeah,
have
and
fallen.
you see the Naga
Those
Siren
things
trying
are
to get
cheap, you know.
over
I
to the
thought
heart
they could maybe
here,
hold on.
and not too
But
far away from completing, but the courier's been taken down, and I think the Naga Siren courier had that recipe there as well, so not going to be able to complete the half the next 2 minutes. The heart going to be thrown in, but again, he has that BKB, he has the Aegis for the next minute and a half here as well. Pichu not going to be able to get himself away from this. The global stance comes through, but Luna just says, okay, I'm a right-click monster. Look at me take down the towers even without the passive, even without the bouncing glaives. The damage that would come through here onto these buildings, they're just going to get demolished. Lays trying to do what he can, has that Exorcism up again, but now the bouncing glaives, they're going to start ripping through these buildings. They're going to start ripping through the heroes if they're too close to the amount of aggression coming out from the Hack.
Alacrity, Frenzy, and Inner Beast. Like, with a Butterfly Luna 26 minutes into the game. He's not even topping the network chart, the Invoker is. So, you have no chance with the heroes that you currently have to deal with this hero, because Luna is just way too strong. Like, the Hawk is untouchable. And the big thing is he's gonna have a Satanic. This game is looking very much over. HellRaisers, they hit their timing perfectly, and Navi, their timing is nowhere to be found. If you look at the Naga Siren, we'll say 25 minutes, you get that heart, you push out the waves, your illusions are hard to kill, and you're split pushing, you can't kill your illusions. Now, even if you would have your timing, you can't do it because you're dealing with super creeps, and it's way too hard.
Yeah, no, again, like you said in the draft, I wasn't impressed with this Naga Siren pickup because HellRaisers, they don't give you that time and space to find the farm. The Hack gets offered, or in this case, all 3 cores on that rotating kind of farm timetable here for HellRaisers. And the Luna, even though she is completely out of the meta at the minute, the Hack show, and this hero is really strong, and the Naga Siren just can't stand up to it.
So, Yumi casted a lot of Division 2 in the BO3 previous year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remembered at these points in the game, the Division 2 teams from Eastern Europe would just go and push. They wouldn't wait for items. They're like, we won, let's go. And then they would give us these interesting games close to comebacks. We have had a couple of them, not a lot of them anyways, but still. But look at HellRaisers, and their discipline just continues to impress me because it's just not so standard to the region. We saw even Bad Boom be undisciplined in some games, just being too aggressively, almost costing them the series. But look at these guys. The Haki doesn't care. He's waiting for a Satanic, and they might even wait for Roach just because it's gonna give them 100% victory, giving no chance for error and giving no chance for Navi to get back into it.
Yeah, and I know we joke about, you know, oh, the next tier, they're going to wait for the Roche. They're going to wait for the Roche when there's like the tier 2 4 towers are falling and the Ancients at half health. But I think that's something that the region first needs to learn. Like you say, just that backing off.
Oh, they know it.
Yeah.
They know it. They know it.
They're just a little bit
don't wanna
impatient. Yeah. But that is something that the teams, I think it cost them on the international stage a lot last season, that they were getting impatient, and you know the Western European teams, the Southeast Asian teams, they were patient, they were waiting out. Fight's gonna break out now as well. Thunder God's Wrath does come through. They get the net onto the Clockwork now again. They might get to the Voltaf comes through the wall there as well. Geo attack takes out Greenstone, the Meteors. They're gonna make the Naga Siren extinct here. Maldi trying to get himself away, so is Sneaky Cool here on the Zeus. He absolutely doesn't. The control coming through. Kiyotaka picks up a double kill. Picks up a godlike spree and will just be able to again take down 3 heroes.
Triple kill.
He just couldn't stand up to the pressure of HellRaisers.
Solo, can we make a bit of a risky play, like go for a fight now when we don't have the Aegis? Like the Hog's like, I have all my items, I can do it, and he says, yeah, let's go, guys.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Welcome back in, everybody, to this second game of the first series. And that first game, you know, HellRaisers, they dragged Luna out from the library. It's like the warehouse at the end of the first Indiana Jones movie. Luna's just been pushed right to the back there, and they have to go deep into to drag
remaining.
it out and bring it into. Hurry! The face you're making makes me think you've never seen Indiana
5
Jones.
seconds
I
remaining.
have, but it was a very long. I went to Disneyland in Paris. There was this Indiana Jones that went forward and then backwards, and after I went on that ride, I never again watched the movie because I started.
Radiant team's turn to ban.
That's completely unacceptable. I can't believe you've not seen. You know, it's like a Christmas staple around here. It's one of the, like, Harry Potter comes on at Christmas, Indiana Jones. They're not Christmas films. I don't know why. Like they are being put on, but. Can't believe I'm just disappointed.
10 seconds
remaining.
Harry Potter is because you know it's usually
Dire
like Christmas
team's turn to
time and
pick.
they're pulling the Christmas tree and stuff like that. I don't see in
Radiant
Indiana
team's turn to
Jones like
pick.
them hunting for some
Dusk.
hidden skulls and stuff like that being a Christmas show. So no, I have not watched it. But Rob, for you to feel better, I'm gonna do it right after we are done forecasting today, and then the next series that Gary and Trent casts. Once I'm done with the work, I'll go and watch it right now so that my
10
my
seconds
caster is
remaining.
happy. Is that acceptable?
That's acceptable. Yeah, I can deal with
5
that.
seconds remaining.
And people say that lying doesn't pay. You see how I told him a little white lie, and he's already feeling super good about everything.
But yeah, going into the draft, we can see that the silencer, the
Radiant
Beastmaster
team's
being
turn
taken
to
away here
pick.
from HellRaisers. The Brood as well. Oh, God damn, the Ricky comes out here from NAVI. And this,
Why did you let?
I don't. You let Ricky through because you have a plan to deal with it. NAVI
Yes.
wins. You ban Ricky because you're not
10
stupid.
seconds remaining.
I don't know. Maybe the HellRaisers they've figured out, you know, in the scrims they've got
5
a plan.
seconds remaining.
They've been up against it and they know how to deal with it.
Yeah, you know, Sweden strong with Ricky, he's like raw, you know, and Sweden strong without the Ricky, he's a very sad guy. That's what I've seen in the DPC so far. So I'm surprised that HellRaisers went for it, considering that we praised them so much for being cool-headed and always knowing how to approach the series in the best way to win, the safe way to do it. But now they let NAVI get their best hero. Sweden Strong really is a beast on it. I don't know who it was. I think I watched Team Spirit, some of their YouTube vlogs, and Mira said that Sweden Strong is very good under Ricky, right? So yeah, it was Mira, because that day they were playing a series against, and he said we're probably going to
Dire team's
ban
turn
it,
to
or
pick.
after they lost, they said okay, now it's
Dire
FFP
team's turn to
getting
ban.
taken out. It's gonna be a Visage, no real surprise there. That has been
Radiant team ban.
their staple opening, and the opening with which they have won so many games. And there's the Naga Siren. So this is what they were looking for on the side of HellRaisers. The Visage doesn't do well with the Naga Siren illusions. Ricky doesn't deal well with the Naga Siren illusions. You get the level, you get the
10
Aghanim
seconds
Shard in
remaining.
Ricky, but you can't do anything with it because the lanes are always in your face, and then you're just this courier
5
killer.
seconds
I guess
remaining.
this is
Team
the
ban.
the plan
Radiant team's
that
turn to
HellRaisers
ban.
were gunning for.
Yeah, and yeah, HellRaisers say you want to put one of ours to sleep. We'll just put your entire team to sleep here with a Naga Siren coming out. We have seen in the DPC, oh God, I can't remember who it was. I think it was NAVI. Up against, was it Dark
10
Side?
seconds remaining.
Now, this is gonna make me.
5 seconds
Or was it
remaining.
Namiga? It was Namiga. Namiga
Okay.
did pull the Ricky out twice up against Darkseid, and Darkseid made
Dire
it
team's
look
turn to ban.
completely useless both times. So it's not like
Radiant
it's
team
not
ban.
being dealt with. I know it's a lot more, again, a lot more prevalent in the Western European region, where, you know, these two regions, the Western European region, the Eastern European region, they do interscrim between each other. So the Eastern European region will be coming up against this Ricky, and again, maybe HellRaisers have come up against it. They know how to
10
deal with it.
seconds
But yeah,
remaining.
Darkseid have already played against it in the series up against Amiga and made it, you know,
5
completely
seconds
dumb to the
remaining.
hero. So there could be a plan in Eastern Europe to deal with this hero.
in every pub the Ricky is picked, right? Just as you know, I don't think even the Lena is picked that much. At least from the ones I have played, you know, if the Ricky isn't banned, it's probably picked, or it's banned by both teams at the first pick phase because everyone picks it, because it's just so powerful and tough to deal with. Even in games that you're losing completely, if you're not very well set up with a lot of sentries and stuff like that, every single misstep can be punished because of sleeping dart. So it does makes it. What is kind of weird to me is that HellRaisers went for the Tusk first, considering that you wanted to play against the Ricky, because Tusk doesn't really like playing against the Ricky. Tag team doesn't work too well because of the mischance, and snowball. You know, you cannot snowball in the and snowball save in the smoke screen. So in that regard, it's weird. But on the other hand, Kiyotaka has played solid Tusks with this ability to just kill people, right? And maybe that's the idea. Push in the waves with the Naga Siren. It gives the space for the Tusk to find his battles, and with the enemies struggling to deal with the illusions, you are just murdering the ones that they can
10
get
seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it looks like as well Navi, they're happy to pick up this Rubik.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm going to assume the position 5 with the Ricky already being there does offer some protection coming into the lane stage. You have the telekinesis, obviously being able to get that drag back to whatever HellRaisers want to get aggressive with, especially if you know, something like the snowball comes in with the eye shards as well. I don't know whether this is going to be the 4 or the 2 Tusk. You know, it could be that 2 Tusk because that is pretty popular at the minute as well. But the Rubik, again, Fade Bolt as well as telekinesis will offer some protection to the what do you like this here, the position 1 Visage, or do you want to run that in the off lane?
Off lane.
Dire team's turn to pick.
The way that they've been. There's absolutely no chances. And also you see a Naga Siren on the other side. If you're running a carry Visage, you're crazy, like literally crazy.
Well, again, Tree does come through this time, makes it through the first 2 phases of bans, and this time HellRaisers they do want to picking it up, banning out the Drow, the Primal Beast, the Timbersaw, as well as again the Beastmaster and Silencer. Navi, they just straight up get rid of the Techies, so they might be thinking this is going to be the 2 Tusk, you know, and looking towards that blow up potential. But the HellRaisers, they go for the Ench.
Okay, so HellRaisers are going, let's win lanes, let's defend the towers for as long as possible, pushing the waves, and the Tusk is getting the kills. I don't know, maybe because they saw the Rubik and the Ricky, they're like, the Tusk can't kill them, but I would like at least one of the supports with a little bit more. 5 seconds remaining. So that's why, I mean, the Techies was banned out, because the Tusks sometimes need that extra bit of damage to get the kill. So I'm kind of scared for HellRaisers. In a sense, they might not be able to get those kills, and that is a big part of their lineup. You're pushing in the waves. Wow, great. You're farming up the Naga Siren, but you need to take some of these heroes down, or Navi are going to hit their timing, and you're going to be in trouble. So I'm expecting HellRaisers to get something on their offlane that is going to help the Tusk somewhat get those kills, be it through vision, be it through heavily winning the lane, be it through taking the towers, or just being an aggressive guy as he is. We'll see where they take it. Navi, they get a Bloodseeker. I think when they're seeing these heroes on HellRaisers, they're like, let's do well in the lanes, and the Bloodseeker helps with that for sure. And he is gonna be allowed to hit his timing because the Naga Siren needs some time. Her items up, so I'm okay with the Seeker. 5 seconds it does allow Vitune to get into the fights a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'm just looking as well that HellRaisers, they do have the offlaner to pick up, so they know what the safe lane is going to be with this Rubik more than likely, and the Bloodseeker. Really nice combo for Navi as well, being able to get the telekinesis off with the Bloodright, just keep them in place, you know, get that Bloodright pop off, and then maybe try and chase them down, do the damage to Fade Bolt as well, a decent amount of burst, so the Bloodseeker can get the extra movement speed, can start to chase down. But if you're HellRaisers here looking for that offlane player, what do you maybe shift the Tusk into that position 3? You know, what do HellRaisers want to be picking up against this lane for Navi?
10 seconds remaining.
Miero has been the flexible
5 seconds remaining.
For HellRaisers, so he has played different heroes.
Dire team's turn
in the game. I'm looking through them. What really would you want to lane a Seeker? This hero very rarely loses the lane, so I don't think you should gun for that. It's a tough one.
10 seconds remaining.
Legion Commander.
5
No.
seconds remaining.
I wouldn't like.
I'm just trying to think it offlane. I mean, the Tide is still available as well. I mean, it might just be the best of a bad situation. You lose the lane, but you go for a hero that will be effective in the the mid to late game fights.
Dragonite pushes the towers. If they go Dragonite, I'm okay with it. But what happens if you start losing? You don't have the damage to kill people. That's why I'm scared. Maybe they even play an offlane Tusk. I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. And they just get a mid laner with some high magic damage. That's an approach as well that I really wouldn't mind. See if it is something they want to be looking forward to.
Well, I was thinking with the shards, that physical barrier against the Bloodseeker as well as the snowball save for when the Bloodrite comes out. Even if you get telekinesis, if you get that snowball off, you can't avoid the silence, avoid the damage there. So I wouldn't mind, like I say, I wouldn't mind them shifting the Tusk to that position 3 and looking for a different mid laner.
If they would do that, then something like Puck, some magic damage dealer would make a lot of sense. Something that is mobile, something that can if that's the route they want to take. The Kiyotaka has played quite a lot of Tusk in the past, so I would be surprised. They
Radiant
played,
team's turn to pick.
played an offlane Tusk once, and then they played an OD. Oh, there it is. Okay,
Yep.
so it is an offlane Tusk with a mobile mid hero that does a lot of magic damage. Okay. I'm fine with this. I actually like it a tad bit more because it gives you this ability to poke, right? You don't really have tower push, but the
10
enchantments
seconds
will help
remaining.
there. And then you go into the enemy side of the map and you poke.
5
You have the
seconds
enchantress,
remaining.
you have the ember, you have the treant to help you surviving, and you have the tusk, and you're always in the enemy's face while the Nagasaran is dealing with the lanes. And with enough poke, you can get the kill. When you look at
Choose your
Navi, they have no
hero.
burst. Okay, that is a dazzle, but that is not burst damage. I like their mid dazzle once. They won with it once. They kind of had a similar lineup to this one.
Yeah.
It was the first game against Darkseid. But I'm just looking at their lineup, and that time around they had a drow, so with the timing you would take over the map. With a Seeker, I expected something a bit more bursty, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work out for them again. But this is the best they have, so Navi, if they lose right now, it is definitely certain that HellRaisers are a much better team.
Yeah, I think HellRaisers, they have that aggression, they have the time and potential to give the hack the space he needs to find the farm. Now they need to, they don't need to prove to me, they need to prove them to themselves that they can disrupt here HellRaisers coming into this second game, that they can find that timings, and the Bloodseeker might be a good hero to do that. Again, deals well with Naga illusions before the heart comes out. Usually you do see that Maelstrom coming through, the high attack speed for the Bloodseeker, so might be able to get through that Nagasaran. The Dazzle, though, it throws me off a little bit. I don't know how this hero is going to be able to do, because like you said, the Ember Spirit, he has that high burst potential, he has the dive potential as well coming out, so mid lane rotations coming through from the two supports from the side of HellRaisers. Dazzle could suffer a little bit coming into this lane.
You shouldn't though, right? Rotates. It's not like the Enchantress can leave the Tusk alone against the Seeker Rubik. I like it. I like Navi's lineup. The more I'm looking at it, they have really powerful lanes actually, right? Especially safe lane. They should be kind of strong in those.
Yeah.
Dazzle has good animation. He doesn't have good damage, but he has good last hit animation.
Prepare for battle.
Even against the melee hero, he should be doing well.
And don't forget, guys, you can visit our sponsors over at EGB. They have giveaways every 30 minutes. All you need to do is put a daily bet down of $1, and every day you do that, you can enter the giveaway. And you just press the take part button. Get yourself into those daily giveaways that go every 30 minutes over on our sponsors, EGB.
So, I think I'm gonna be going with Navi on this one. Actually, I think they have what it takes. I don't think they're a better team, but I think HellRaisers gave them their best lineup. I'm only just not sure about the Seeker, but it actually does well in the lane, especially against the Tusk. You're probably gonna be maxing out the Ice Shards and Snowball, and of course we are gonna be seeing a fight on the top lane for the trees. This has kind of become a staple of the region. I don't know if you remember. I think it was maybe you and me, or me and Panda casting it, where it happened the first time when the teams were just rushing to defend the trees. It was even in Division 2.
Yeah, and you can see that this time at least, HellRaisers, they are going to be able to push back the Ricky, you know. Like you say, even the position for Ricky coming in with the Quelling Blade, Visage being there with the Quelling Blade there as well, they know what they want to do here in this top lane. And this time,
This ain't no
HellRaisers just not
snowball
going to let them
fight.
do this. Is in the bottom part of the river. Might be some engage coming through now as well. The Fade Ball's going to go, but the tag team will do that. Nicky Cool going to be taking a lot of damage here. He's trying to do what he can with the Shadow Wave, but still the damage flies through. And Kiyotaki picks up the first blood. That's not a great way to start the lane. That is not a great way at all.
That is the worst possible way to start the game, because this Ember Spirit, he's the space creator. He is the one for HellRaisers that is going to be in the enemy face, and if he's super powerful, it's going to be a problem. And I was thinking, does the Tusk get the tag team in this one? Usually offlane Tusks do, and considering he has the intelligence, it would be a good thing to go for. But the Seeker is a very high armor hero, but he sees the opportunity in the river there, and they just go for Nicky Cool, and that is the worst possible start for Navi.
Yeah, and usually you see the mid laners, you know, he's not really bought out item-wise, so he did have a bit of gold left over, but he's got that bottle before the minute mark on the Ember Spirit.
Dyer's
So he's
courier
going to
has
have
been
that
killed.
regen, he's going to have the sustain
That's
in this lane as well if he gets
animal
aggressed on before the water runes spawn. So really nice timing here for Kiyotaka, and I don't know if the Dazzle, obviously first minute of the game, I can't say game's over, lane's over, you know, lane won by Kiyotaka, but Dazzle, I don't know if he's going to want to leave the lane when the Ember Spirit leaves the lane, you know, to find those water runes.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the water, but the Dazzle is gonna be okay. I mean, it's not like the Ember gets the kill and he's this Viper type of hero or something along those lines. And he gets level 3 and he just pushes you out. So that's not the type of hero Ember is. And Dazzle has his own sustain, which is something that the Ember
Radiant's
doesn't
courier
play
just got
against
killed.
overall.
Yeah, true. And if he really needs to, you know, he can hold a point in the panic button for that shallow grave if he needs it. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, some aggression coming through here from Malik. He's just trying to get onto Antares, and Antares, he's got that first point here into the enchant, so no sustain coming through from the native attendants, no massive damage coming through from the Incubus. Malik, he's just taking part of this, but there is going to be eye shards here on the Rubik, trying to go for the telekinesis now. Level 2 standard build here for the Rubik, and Mero just walked himself away because, I mean, the Fade Ball, it's still a decent amount of damage. Mero doesn't want to be caught out. Not that there would be the overwhelming kill potential, but he still wants to sustain as much on this lane as possible, so any unnecessary damage, you know, Mero won't want to be taking that on.
Yep, for sure. And you know, we're seeing the mid lane actually going really well for Nicky Cool in terms of CS. That is, you know, if you don't dodge the poison touch with the sleight of fist, and you won't, you're gonna get pushed out. Dazzle, very hard to fight against, because when you get close to the creeps, he just has the Shadow Wave. So it's not gonna be easy for Kiyotaka here, and look at just how much damage he's gonna take now, just because he has been poison touched, immediately pushed back.
Yeah, and he can't be taking those, obviously the melee hero as well, he can't be standing in range, taking the right clicks and getting the refresh here on poison touch for Nicky Cool, so he does move himself away there, like you say, just to try and force that one off you, just shed that the poison coming through. Antares, he rotates as well, gets himself the rune on this bottom part of the map, but so Kiyotaka, what are we going to see itemized here for the Ember Spirit coming into this game? Is it going to be the quick BKB, do you think, here for the Ember Spirit?
The Orb of Corrosion into Maelstrom into a big. That's it. Like, I don't think Kiyotaka is the one that is gonna accept defeat. You know, sometimes we might see Ember Spirits like, okay, this is not going well, but this is not the case for this game. He might be losing a little bit on CS, but he's still got the first blood. So, you know, currently we don't see the net worth, but he's ahead there, slightly, but he's still ahead.
Would you? I mean, the poison touch and the shadow wave are both physical. Blurred's going to be coming through. They might get aggressive onto V-Tune though as well. The tag team will be out on V-Tune. Going to be slowed down, trying to get himself away from Mero. And now the impetus is picked up from Antares. Top lane now as well. It looks like Sweden Strong trying to go into Solo. Solo though, he is a big tanky boy. He's got that leech seed. He's going to be fine. He's got the living armor now as well. Will be able to sustain back up as Dahaki pops this mirror image. Does he want to go here, try and get aggressive, because the mirror image is moving on to Lays. He's trying to get that Riptide off between the two heroes, do what damage he can with the harass here from these mirror images, it looks like.
Very nicely done by HellRaisers in the laning phase too. Just keep it cool, right? You don't want a lot of fighting to happen, especially before minute 3-4 when you get your raindrops in the top lane, because you don't want the first to be impacting the bottom lane all that much, right? The Seeker is still winning, but you don't want him killing your Tusk. Tusk is fine enough. You get a couple of levels, and later on down the line, you can't kill these supports, and that's kind of what you want. And that's why HellRaisers, you're not gonna be seeing them really wanting to fight all that.
Yeah, and again, bottom lane, the Blood Rite will be coming through, but it looks like they want to turn the aggression onto V-Tune again. And Marty, he's trying to do his best. He's got the 2 points into the Fade Bolt now as well, so it can disrupt a lot of the aggression coming through on this bottom lane. But it seems like Mero, you know, he's not having the hardest time here on this bottom lane as well.
I mean, he's not having the hardest time, but he's not having the easiest one either, only 14 CS. Considering, though, that the Visage has only 8, I think that's an issue. And Lays, in terms of class hitting, really has not been impressive overall in the Eastern European DPC. I think he had opportunities to get a little bit more to CS.
Yeah, and there's even going to be a deep rotation coming through from Antares now as well. Enchantress, he's looking for... What is he looking for? He's actually going to be looking for the Warpine Raider, maybe try and get aggressive onto Nicky Cool. Nicky Cool, level 6. No point, though, into this shallow grave. He's going to be, yeah. So Kiyotaka, does he want to get aggressive, or is this just going to be the lane pressure being put on? The rotation coming through from the edge. But Twin Strong will be here. The smoke screen does go down. Kiyotaka just has to move himself out of this now as well. The Warpine Raider chasing down on the Swingstrong. Swingstrong trying to get himself to the room. Maybe stop, but Snare and Chains come through. If he have the damage to take, no. Maybe not with a Shadow Wave coming out here from Nicky Cool. But Kiyotaka might want to carry on going again. He's still got those remnants. He's even going to be able to pop that illusion room, get some bottom charge off the Furry Fire, trying to keep himself alive. The Searing Chains come out again. He has to jump himself away to the remnant. He's got that bottle as well. He's trying to come in and do what he can. Got a remnant to jump himself away to if he needs it. Does he go down? He's not. He's not going to go down, but Marty, he'd already go taking over as well. You can have the damage to take down. They're going to be able to get the kill onto Kiyotaka. And now the chase onto Solo. Solo's going to be the backstab coming through from Sweden Strong. And now the smoke screen as well. Solo,
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Bark of his tree, he gets himself out the...
Oh man, the Ricky went for the smoke screen. The animation took away one attack from him. That would have been a dead tree and a bonus as well. I understand what HellRaisers want to do. They want this mid lane tower down so they can apply pressure in the mid lane with the Ember, have sentries around him. He's unkillable. You're just creating space, and it's a problem for your enemies. But very nice response coming up from Navi. Their tower takes pretty much no damage, no significant damage from the first catapult wave, and considering you don't really have push heroes, you need those catapult waves to really do the damage.
Yeah, but you can see Antares, he's right back in mid. He's got himself another Warpine Raider. He wants to be going solos. TP'd in now as well. He's trying to force Malady as well as Sweden Strong into this mid lane, into defending the tower, and they are going to be coming through as well. So this is going to create some space for the Tusk, some space for the Nagasaran. But at the same point, Navi, you know, it means that Blaze, he can get the recover on the last hits if he wants to. It means that there's the potential for the Bloodseeker to hit that level 6 and go for the rupture onto Mero as Kiyotaka, he gets the kill onto Sweden Strong. What else can he get from this? Nicky Cool as well as Malady still in this mid lane, and it looks like Kiyotaka, he's not getting overly aggressive, but he's not slowing down as well, getting the slight face off onto Nicky Cool.
Two things here, like HellRaisers, they're being pushed back in the mid lane, and that's great for Navi. And it's great that the Tusk is being destroyed on the bottom lane by Vici. But all of this isn't going to matter much because Lays doesn't have a game, right? If you look at the Visage, he's suffering the most. And he needs more farm than the Tusk. Tusk will snowball in, use the tag team, and you will get a kill. When it comes to the Visage, he needs the items. He needs to be strong enough. And this for me is a big problem for Navi. We'll see how they can make something happen. And also HellRaisers, with all of this pressure, they're actually poking down the tower. Even without the siege creep, the Enchantress creeps are allowing them to do some significant damage on it.
Yeah, you can see his smoke screen comes on again. They're going to try and get that down to Nicky Cool. Kiyotaka just look for the right angle outside of that smoke screen. And Nicky Cool, does he survive through this? No, Antares is going to be able to get the kill. And he doesn't. I mean, it's only level 7, so he still doesn't have a point here. Oh, Jack gets a solo kill onto Lays.
That is something that can't happen. I understand it. The Visage cannot deal with the Nagasaran alone, and this is the thing. This is where HellRaisers are winning. I want to see V-Tune there in the mid lane as well. Like, you need more heroes. Once this tower falls, your whole plan, what Navi have invested so much in, the only thing that is going well for them, it's gone. And there it is. Tower is dead. Treant Protector that rotates to take a tower down. That is a new one, something that we don't see too often. But that is what happens when you have a Nagasaran. It's another hero that can stay a long time in the lane, and you don't really have think about it, and then only when the Hawk says, I'm gone from this lane, which he doesn't have to do just yet, that is when Solo can go towards the top lane and start doing treant things.
Yeah, I said in the draft, HellRaisers, they create space in the mid lane for the two cores. He's going to be aggressive on again. Smokescreen drops out, Kiyotaka trying to get himself back. He might be able to get himself away. He gets a kill and he gets out. He gets the dive away. It might cost Solo his life here. Solo trying to run back to his side of the map. In fact, doesn't want to carry on going. He's moving himself in, but yeah, no, the two supports, even if they're not the best suited for it, they move into this mid lane. They create space for the Hack, they create space for the offlaner there as well. They put pressure, they take this tier 1 tower down, they take the focus off the Naga Siren. Okay, Tusk's going to be taking some damage, but there's going to be the rotation in now as well. Searing Chains come through, and yeah, he's just going to be able to literally stand his ground here, Tusk, as the dive comes through from Kiyotaka. Kiyotaka, does he have another remnant? Not for the next 15 seconds, but Antares is rotating in Malady. He's going to be back behind this tier 1 tower, and the damage, he's still going to be taken down. One more right click. No, the Furry Fire, so he's trying to waste every time with these heroes here on side. HellRaisers, Kiyotaka with a long range sleight of fist, picks up the kill, and now again, the Dark Troll Summoner, trees down here now as well. Look at how quickly this tier 1 tower is going to disappear, taking the aggro away from the Naga Siren.
10 minutes in, and I'm going to say this game is looking over, because when you look at Navi's draft, they needed strong lanes. They needed to be able to defend those towers and push back HellRaisers early on. And they don't do anything of that. It looked for a second, the first siege creep wave on the mid lane, they deterred it and like, yeah, let's go. And then their top lane suffers, their bottom lane, they're winning, but the V-Tune is not using it in any way. And now it's just very tough for them to play the game.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the shots on the top. So the Richard comes out now as well. Kiyotaka Antares, who's hiding behind. What did he steal? He's going to be able to get the sleight of fist, and he might be able to get the kill on the Tusk. The Tusk will go down. And this Smokescreen, a little bit of a problem for the Emissary. He doesn't want to be coming in super close, because obviously the silence, it's pretty effective against those melee heroes here. So it will mean that they secure the kill onto the Tusk, but Navi, they still take some harass from this here as well. The tier 2 tower being pushed on it. Maybe HellRaisers go a little bit too deep, but Kiyotaka is hanging back. He's throwing out these sleight of fists. He's finding the damage, and V-Tune, he's having to regen from these creeps, but it means that again now that the V-Tune, he might be a little bit preoccupied as HellRaisers look for another rotation and another gank.
Navi are desperately running away from the bottom lane. They don't want to be there, but look at Miero. It's back in the world of the living, and he's chasing. He's not going to live to tell the tale.
Yeah, they're going to be coming in with the overgrowth again. The Smokescreen comes down. He's even going to be open the Shallow Grave now as well, but Nicky Cool, it's only going to take him so far. Kiyotaka gets another kill on the board. 5-1-1 in this second game here for the side of HellRaisers. Malady, the Remnant's going to fly across. He might still be able to go again. The Searing Chains comes out, and even with the telekinesis, Rubik, he's going to be in trouble. One more right click from the enchantment from anyone. A slide of fist. Where is it? He's beautiful as well. Look at this. He gets himself on, he gets the kill onto Malady, he finds the stack, and he finds the farm.
Some help.
That was really nice play from Malady, you know, just going for the sleight of fist onto the creeps, knowing that Kiyotaka's sleight of fist was coming away. That is the
they're beating on
that is when you are so high ranked as a support. That's really strong. Yeah, there used to be a hero there, but HellRaisers are just playing much better Dota. This is insane. Also Miero, we haven't talked much about his items. He went for a Vanguard.
Radiant's top tower
Navi,
has
we
looked
talked
better.
about damage issues on their side if they are not winning the game, and you know, having the Vanguard definitely helps. So looking at this game right now, I'm
just as much help as bottom.
looking at Navi and thinking, how do they get one kill?
Yeah.
How do you do it? It's just so hard.
And the Emissary, he's just going to go straight for the boots of travel. He wants to be mobile even more on the map. You know, he wants to be able to get back up his teammates, get these fights started. Now got on Lays. On the Lays, you know, 3 levels behind here as well. He's trying to use the familiars. Smokescreen does come through, and this race going to be out on ball charges, but still the sleight of fist. He turns it round. Lays trying to drag those familiars now away. Sweet and strong. Do they have any reveal here for the rookie? It looks like they're not even going to be bothered about it. They're just going to try and put pressure again, coming through onto this tier 2. Sweet and strong, trying to do his best behind any lines though. The ice shot, it doesn't keep Lays locked down, but the wall was punched. The snowball will. Do they have the damage to take him down? They might want to tackle Kiyotaka slide of fist. I think he'll take it. Kiyotaka, he gets the kill with the Searing Chains. And the dive in tier 3s when the tier 2s are still up. HellRaisers are just that confident.
without VTune joining the fight, there is nothing that Navi can do. And at this point, I don't know if even that is gonna change anything. He's farming his
Radiant's
BKB, but
bottom
until
tower
that
has
point, he's
fallen.
gonna have 3 of his heroes just completely useless. Ricky, he'll get level. It will be minute 15, so he will get the sleeping dart. But it's gonna be 4
They're
heroes of
beating on
HellRaisers
Dire's
constantly
top
together,
tower.
surrounded by sentries. This item in this game in particular isn't gonna change anything. Literally anything. Maybe setting up on the Hawk, who has a Midas. And Agasar with the Midas, because why not? Because he can do it. Because
The
his team is just
flames
winning
rush
without him.
forth.
And there's going to be another dive now as well. Onto the ring. Searing Chains come out. Rubik, all the wall quick door next to Lanes a little bit. But Malady, no chance of actually surviving there. And again, it looks like HellRaisers are even going to be able to find the Dazzle. Dazzle does get out alive. But Dazzle with 3 heroes, even underneath this cage, he's trying to do his best to get the
Radiant's
courier
top tower
out.
is under attack.
Even over his own life here, Nikki will be back to the high ground. As the Nagasar
Radiant's
just looks to
top
push
tower
down that
has
tier 1.
fallen.
Now the tier 2 tower is open for the aggro as well. Creeps pushing into this, but it looks like HellRaisers, they want to start to...
Radiant's top
I can't
tower
even say
has
start to. They've
looked
been
better.
aggressive since before the runes dropped, and they're even going to be able to go for more. Biggie. Yeah, might try and cook his bacon now as well. The Searing Chains dudes come through, and he just moved himself out. Kiyotaka, the blood right now, going to be effective. The Enchanted will be tuned down. He's going to be caught out. He's going to be killed off. Kiyotaka just going absolutely wicked sick here in the second game at 15-16 minutes in.
And you are still you're still wanting that Christmas dinner, right? Because when it says here, little pig, you're like, yeah, like it sounded like, yeah, just give me that fork, because that's exactly what HellRaisers were gunning for VTune. This is done and dusted in the game. You haven't even started to address the Naga. You had a lineup that needs to be pushing in, and now you have this sleeping dart to the Ricky, and you're gonna find out just how useless it can be in some games.
Yeah, they're getting the D-Ward off now as well. Sweden strong. He's trying to do his best, but it looks like they're going to be able to get it again onto the Rubik. Telekinesis comes out. Sweden strong. Smoke screen's going to get dropped. And we have the reveal for the Rubik. A lot of damage here onto the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit's trying to move himself out of range so he can use those bottle charges, keep himself going, keep himself alive here. Even getting off a sleight of fist, but he's going to have the healing salve. I assume that is from a shovel being passed over to him, so he's going to be able to heal up here once again. And 17 minutes in, HellRaisers, they just go into the pit, because why the hell not? They've still got the song, they've got the tag team, the damage coming through onto Roshan. Roshan is just going to melt in his own pit.
Roshan's down.
Kiyotaka now gets the Aegis. You couldn't kill him up until now. Now it's going to be even tougher. Kiyotaka has really played a really nice game. Those couple of early kills with the double remnant usage, where you go back to the remnant that you previously placed, has put him in a situation where he's nowhere afraid for his life. And now until he gets the BKB, he's going to have that Aegis up. Like putting Navi in a situation where I don't even know what you do. You have to ignore everyone on the side of HellRaisers and try to find the Hawk. For that, you need a Shard of the Dazzle, which you currently have, but they're just so much in your face that it's going to be so easy to see through it. So I guess they wait for the BKB on the Seeker. Once they get it, they go for a fight. If they lose, they GG out. That's kind of the thing that's most likely going to happen now for Navi.
Yeah, and you can see that, like, VTune again,
Radiant's
he's
bottom
not
tower is
comfortable
under
farming on his
attack.
own side of the map. So like last game, he's going to the opposite side of the jungle. He's looking for that BKB. He's going to have enough here for the mid-roll hammer. But while he's trying to farm up the rest of Picos, which is still another about 1,100 gold away, 1,000 gold.
Where did
If
Radiant's
HellRaisers,
middle
they're
tower
taking
go?
these objectives on the map. They're not scared. They're not slowing down. They're not saying, oh, okay, we'll wait for the Bloodseeker
Dire's
to get that
courier got
BKB. They're
killed.
applying pressure
Those things
to
aren't
all of
cheap,
the
you
map
know.
that they can get their hands on.
I think they just don't care. I think that's the thing. He gets the BKB, but what is he gonna do? We're just gonna hide it out and then come back into the fight later on. I think they even know that the Bloodseeker is on their side of the map, but they don't want to disperse, because then the Ricky could pick them up, be annoying, stop TPs, create some space for his team and stuff like that. I'm not saying it would win the game for Navi, but it would definitely give them a much better shot than what HellRaisers are doing right now. Let them have everything they want. We have better late game. We have the Naga Siren. She's gonna be the top dog once the time comes. And even if we allow them to farm right now, with the lead that we have accumulated,
Radiant's
this game is over
top
if we just
tower
don't
has
make any
looked better.
mistakes.
Yeah, you can see that Laze is going into the Wraith Pact, and it's going to be a nice item to
Radiant's top
have, but I
tower
don't
deserves
think
just
it,
as much
again,
help
it's
as
not
bottom.
enough to slow down just the overall aggression coming out from the side of HellRaisers.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Again, you might. The thing about HellRaisers, you don't even have to give a fight to Navi. That's the thing. You can just split push with illusions. It's good that they have a Dazzle whose shard can kill the Navi side
Radiant's top
illusions.
tower is
Yeah, now
under
finally
attack.
HellRaisers are like, okay, it's been enough. Let's just kill them in our own jungle. We're not gonna allow them
Dire's
to farm
courier
that
has
any
been
longer.
killed.
Yeah, and you can see the video and the odds on screen as well. 10 to I think that was a straight 0 there for HellRaisers. So HellRaisers all but got this game.
1.0. Like, if you put the money on them, you just lose 100%.
You just get, you get your money back. It's just a funsy bet there. But yeah, Navi 10 to 1 odds. The Navi come back into this game, and 13 to 2 in terms of kills at 20 minutes and a 10k net worth lead. HellRaisers looking incredibly impressive. But I'm not saying it can't happen. Did you see the bet? I know Gary and Trent talked about this the other day as well. There was the bet that somebody put an outrageous amount of money on to win like 11k, and they ended up losing everything. And you know, that could still happen here. Navi not completely out of it yet. It is a mountain that they have to climb. And you know, they need to find some great fights, some amazing timings on like maybe getting themselves over to the. I mean, the Emperor still had his Aegis for 1 minute and a half, so he is going to go down once. But that's going to be the Aegis. It's going to be the time being given over to the side of HellRaisers to actually get himself in here. Each what else going to do? The sleeping dart comes out. The rookie now as well. So he might be in a little bit of trouble. Can he get the right clicks down? Even with the sleeping dart going out, it looks like Soul. He's still trying to march himself out after the sleep was off. So V2 gets a kill to Mero now as well. Can they chase for even more? Feliga onto Enchantress. Was that smoke screen? Was it delay? The song comes through. Dahak, he wants to get his teammates out. The TPs are going to be used here. And Kiyotaka as well to bring himself away on foot. So, not a bad fight. Not a bad trade there for Navi.
That is, you know, I'd rather have Naga Siren working with kids, because look at how easily she puts all of them to sleep rather than even strong. Wouldn't really be good at that job. Like, you sleep while guys waking up, another one is being put to it. Yeah, that's how you do the job. So if you're sending your kids to you know, when they're young, someone to take care of them, Nagas are a much better choice than the Riki. But yeah, that's a really big fight for Navi. That's the BKB on the Bloodseeker, at least showing themselves they still can go for a fight before the Nagas is really ready for it. And HellRaisers, I think after this one, they wait for the Ember BKB. There it is. Kiyotaka, he did get taken down once there, and he didn't want to re-engage, giving away his supports. But again, now what HellRaisers are doing, they're going through BKB charges of the Bloodseeker. Even if they can't win fights, getting him down to 6 seconds is gonna be good enough. That's the next big objective. If you don't want to be counting, you know, the Roche that's gonna be up in 3 minutes.
Yeah, and again, you can see the Kiyotaka, like I say, he has that BKB. He's still looking fresh. He's going for that Shiva's Guard as well. Did Lays finish off? He's still... Did he change his mind? Did it come in? What's his career? Did he actually go back on the Wraith Pact?
No, he didn't. He doesn't want it. He wants the boots of the Baron.
Okay.
Wraith Pact doesn't have much that you're not canceling
Not much good's
BKB.
happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Not canceling Blink, sorry. You don't have like overwhelming physical burst on the side of HellRaisers that you're really thinking about. You might have it, but you know, dealing with it, it's not easy. You don't have big AoE physical damage. You only have pokes, and once HellRaisers see the Wraith Pact, they're just gonna pull out if they feel like it's gonna change the outcome of a fight. So it does make sense that he doesn't want it. Okay, with all of that, I can just scratch it down, because he says, no, I do want it. With all of your talk there, Harry Freak, and now I'm gonna show you just how good the item can be. So let's see if he can make it happen. I personally don't see much impact from it, even though most of the damage of HellRaisers is gonna be physical. It's just poke physical damage. It's not constant output of it, and it's still, I don't think HellRaisers is going to give him a fight, so having more mobility with the Boots of the Bearing, I would have preferred that.
Might be able to make the dive. You're going to do the smoke screen, but he's already giving the Remnant away. Kiyotaka even getting the tape. Yeah, Swing Strong didn't immediately drop. I mean, the slight efficiency into the Remnant was there anyway, so he was just able to dive himself away to the Remnant.
That was weird, though. I think you're silenced up if you are sleight of fisting through the smoke, I think the way it works is where you are currently positioned with the Ember, right?
Right.
If and the creeps were pretty much around the Ember, so I think he might have been able to put a smoke screen down. I'm gonna have to check that one in the lobby after the game. I think that's how it works. If there would be like a smoke screen on a creep that uses slide fist, you will get like silence for a half a second. Though not 100% certain that's how it works, but still, Sweet and Strong was definitely slow on the smoke screen.
Yeah, I thought it was like, you know, while you were sliding fist and you were in that kind of like vanished form, you weren't affected by it. But again, what do I know?
You might be
more and more
right.
MMR by the day, so.
We'll deal with that. Not by smurfing, guys. By teaching people to play, because smurfing is bad.
Smurfing is bad, and don't do it. I have so many Smurfs in my games. Obviously, everyone that wins is just a Smurf, and that's why I'm losing MMR. It's not because I'm bad. It's just
always on the other side, and it's always on the other side.
Always, yeah.
Lenovo smurfing thing here, Kiyotaka. He's been smurfing on Navi and on some of the other teams quite a lot in the DPC.
Yeah, and Sweet and Strong, he does get himself out. There was the Met coming through the Guardian Screams for the Dazzle, as well as the Shadow Wave to keep him alive. But Sweet and Strong maybe saw his life flash before his little eyes there, being aggressed on by the 3 heroes from the side of HellRaisers.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom
Sweet and Strong
tower.
survived. You know, we're looking at Navi right now. They got their BKB on the Seeker, and guess what? HellRaisers never gave him a fight. They just stopped, like, oh no, you got a BKB on the Seeker. I guess, well, then we're not gonna be fighting. They're just pushing in the bottom lane. Oh boy! What's with the miss being typed in the in the chat?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Okay.
Really
Yeah, no, we can't really get any context from that. And Vichun, he's going to be going towards that shot. So the Nagasaran looking towards that heart still about after the butterfly though. So this is going to be a little bit harder here for the, the Bloodseeker to land those hits to trade off that what is it, 1.8% max health trade up against the Nagasaran, with the butterfly being the heart about 900 gold away as well here for Dahak.
That is heart butterfly is kind of the time where illusions just don't die. You don't have enough physical, you don't have enough magical. You have, however, a dazzle shard.
Yeah.
And we have seen Nikki Cool be the one to go towards the bottom lane. He has itemized properly to deal with the Nagasaran. You have the Orchid, I'm gonna have the Lotus. You have the Net, I'm gonna have the Guardian Greaves. So that's quite nice for him. Because what he wants to do is he wants to be in the bottom part of the map, just constantly alleviating the pressure that the Nagasaran is making. But still, I'm looking at Navi and I'm thinking, how do they still start the fight if they even if they get in a position to do so? Look at Kiyotaka, he's just in the bottom lane. Like, yeah, go and attempt to run in on us, and it's gonna be a problem. At least they're taking down Submission, so that's nice.
Yeah, the Nagasaran's even gonna be sending illusions in as well. Lay's moving himself over to try and do. I mean, he doesn't even send his familiars in just yet. He doesn't want them caught out. He's not got a resummon for 12 seconds. So if he does lose these, it is going to have to be a fresh respawn. And if you go down again, they're going to be on cooldown. Dahak comes in. Rupture, though. It looks at Dahak. Just going to go for the TP away. Yeah, just moving himself out there as well as the attacker over towards the Roche pit. And this is going to be, do Navi, do they have the knowledge? They have the wards down in the river, so they can see the movements over towards that. Not the pit itself, but just towards where the pit is. As Dahak, again, just continues to use that Hand of Midas. I like we talked about the Dazzle Shard there as well. Really nice pickup, especially with the smoke screen. Being able to get that smoke screen into the Sleeping Dart off with the he has to fight breaks out. Actually, they're going to be able to go for the Dazzle. We have the taking down Nikki Cool. He's getting he didn't crave himself. And now Vichun trying to chase down, but they've lost Blaze, they've lost Nikki Cool now. And it might even be that goes to Vichun trying to do what he can with the Blood Right coming through. One more right foot onto the Rubik. Raise back is going to be ticking, but they're still going to be able to get the kill here. A lot of his comes out, and Kiyotaka gets the kill onto Malady. Sweet and Strong has to run himself away from that, and so does the Bloodseeker.
Actually, if that grave is properly used, we might see a different fight.
Healing
It wasn't
power.
looking too bad for Navi. Now it's a disaster because you lost the fight. You're gonna lose the Roche. You lost another BKB charge on the Seeker. But yeah, that is just what happens when you're clicking on your hero in the middle of the fight. Just double click it. If you're using the quick cast, click on the icon on the top of the screen or the icon of your hero, because that was just a complete disaster that you use it on the familiar. There's so many units around. I understand it, but that is just a big mistake. It can happen. This is the thing. In the China region, even when there are games like this where nothing is happening, there are no big fights, the Chinese players, they're still super into the game. They don't miss their skulls. But in Eastern Europe, people just kind of fall asleep. Just like Yataka currently.
Yes, Snowball comes in though. We want to try and go. Mero's going to turn around with a tag team onto the Ricky. Ricky to get himself away from this. Bichun actually, he just gets killed off. Trying to fight into it, and it looks like Nicky Cool Twinstrong did get himself away, but Bichun wants to go all the way in and just gets caught out and killed here. As the HellRaisers, they're going to move on to this tier 3 tower in the mid lane. They've already done a lot of damage to that tier 3 tower in the bottom lane, so they might be able to get another tier 3 out of this if you want to. Ricky moved himself away. The Orchid, though, he was in Miz, able to move himself out of range of the net.
Tower's got problems.
Yeah, look at the what he's doing. He's sending the illusions towards the bottom, and then Nicky Cool needs to make a decision. Am I going to deal with the illusions, or am I going to be hexing you? And, you know, it's not an easy decision to make, and whatever you choose, you're going to be losing
Where
something.
did Radiant's middle tower go?
And now Kiyotaka stepping up front lines with the Flame Guard as well, clean up any creeps that do put forward. Hack right next to him, going onto this melee rack. They still don't have this Blitzseeker for the next 12 seconds. The net will latch here onto Rubik. But again, these illusions, they're just ticking down onto the range racks. They're doing what they can to siege this building down. And it looks like HellRaisers, they still have this Aegis. They don't want to leave just yet. The big comes out here from the Emperor, the Poison Touch, and they clean up the Aegis. The Familiar's trying to get the stuns. They might even try and take down Solo, but the song, it comes through from the hack, and they're just going to retreat. They get themselves one melee rack here in the mid lane. The illusions go into the range of the bottom lane, clean that up. And HellRaisers, again, like in the first game, they don't overstay their welcome, they don't overextend, they know the limits of the power, and they just back themselves up with the TP, the song from the Naga Siren. Look for this next big item timing, and then look to get themselves back in. Maybe clean up these 2 lanes of racks.
I think the other teams, the weaker ones, when they're seeing HellRaisers play against some of the stronger teams, when they look at their series against Boom, they were like, yeah, how do you like that? Yeah, how do you like when someone is dealing with you? Because these guys, man, they're not allowing you to play Dota. Really, this is... this is super frustrating for every single team that has played against HellRaisers, because they close out everything, and even when you're like, okay, now we're gonna fight in our base, guys, let's go smoke, they're gone. They're not even there. They're not letting you do anything. Navi, they're bored and they're losing, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at the net worth as well. The Naga Siren and the Midas Naga Siren coming to pubs near you. And... well, did he actually get engaged? The Naga Siren Sleep Dog comes up. Let's do the smoke screen. Yeah, he might be able to get the kill. Into the hack. He's not going to be surviving through this. He gets taken down. He's down to 74 seconds. But that's what he gets from his Navi. They get onto Solo. The chase now as well. Kiyotaka trying to run himself away, but he is going to be slapped by the dart. Do you have enough to get the remnant? No. He just pops that PK. He's going to go for the slide first. TP out. And injured. Does TP out the damage? They don't. I mean, he had the Aegis anyway, so he would have had a sec. No, he didn't. He didn't actually have any remnants. Jumped away to it. He went down there. So back with it. He'd already used the BKB as well. He could have, if he didn't get out there, if that Aegis had been popped, looking at a second death there from the Hemisphere as well.
Yeah, very surprising. You know, considering the Seeker doesn't have a basher. In my mind,
better help Dyer's middle tower.
The better move is to die, then BKB TP out with full HP. If he dies there during the BKB, there's a smoke screen waiting for him, and you can have 10 remnants. You're not getting out of that one. But yeah, Navi, they find their opening, and now we see why HellRaisers are never giving a fight, because in a big fight, Navi are still strong. You know, if the Seeker can go ham, and then when we saw the Seeker die, HellRaisers just go for a push and they take everything, and they're just gonna continue doing this now with the 2 lanes constantly being pushed in by the super creeps. It's gonna be even tougher for Navi to find these fights, but now they did find it. So I can expect HellRaisers to be even more careful when approaching it. They're gonna take a step back a bit, place wards slightly more defensively, and then until with the illusions they get their vision necessary, they're not gonna be claiming more ground. So Navi will be able to at least control somewhat of the map vacuum.
Yeah, I think that it did come down to the hack just getting a little bit too overconfident, I guess. You know, he was saying, oh, I can farm this camp easy, you know, they're going to be turtling in the base. No way they come out for us. Oh, Kiyotaki smoke happening. There's going to be the sleep start coming through now as well. Do you have enough notice on? Even through the poison touch. This is what HellRaisers wanted to set up. But look at these three heroes now as well. Kiyotaka, really nice overgrowth. The Rush does come through, but they're going to be able to get the kill. Going to get the kill to Dazzle now as well. That's going to be the HP being reclaimed in the middle of this fight. Where they take down the Dazzle. The buyback comes through. Backline. Did they get the kill to Dahak? Yeah, Dahak. One step comes out. He was ruptured now. B-Tune gets the kill. Trace onto the tusk now as well. With these three heroes being around the B-Tune. Does he have the damage? He's going to go down. Buyback from the Rubik. He wasn't able to get himself back into this fight. Nothing to TP to, so he actually fought back for the defense of the base. And the chase on Sleeping Dart comes out. Kiyotaka, though, once that Sleeping Dart wears off, can they get onto Sweden Strong? Where's that vision? They don't have any reveal here, and Sweden Strong is going to be able to hang around this creep wave, get himself back into his base. But he still lost, what was that, 3 and a buyback from the Rubik.
No MKB, and the Seeker is ripping through the Nagasaki. He just attacks so fast. Like, yeah, you have 35% evasion, but I'm gonna attack 200 times, and some of those will hit. You know, when you're just throwing punches out, and his damage output with the shard is actually insane. Of course, his BKB is getting low. He's going for a butterfly himself. I'm not sure. Maybe just get a refresher. If you're the Seeker, I feel like with a double BKB, you can be more aggressive in the fights. We'll see. We'll see in the end what he decides to do. But overall, Navi are showing that they can fight. And HellRaisers, next time that they get a sleep on 5 heroes, I think they might just bail. Let's just not give him a
Radiant's
fight.
courier has
was,
been
that was
killed.
close to being a
They
disaster for
always go after
HellRaisers.
the
Imagine if
courier.
Miero dies and the Seeker gets his HP back. It's cleanup time.
And the Seeker as well, he went straight in for the Melania. So he's going to go those line and procs, going through evasion. Going to be dealing massive amount of damage to the Nagasiren and these illusions.
Oh, wait. The Seeker, the Dazzle has an Aghanim Scepter, so now we can refresh the BKB, right? And because now
Radiant's
to refresh all
bottom
item
barracks are under
cooldowns.
attack.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's why you do not need a refresher on the Seeker. You're gonna have a double BKB anyways. It just needs to be that Nikki Cool survives. Again, he's not getting the grave off, but now he's itemizing properly to get an A on this. Rob, this game isn't over. Even though it looked over at like 6-7 minutes into the game with HellRaisers getting everything, once Navi have hit their time, they can still fight.
Yeah, and Nikki Cool being able to get off a Lotus Orb every 7.5 seconds. The Greaves come out every 20 seconds as well. 20 seconds, it still feels like a long time, but that could be 2 or 3 times during a fight. If the fight, you know, the fights can go long enough that Nikki Cool with the sustain coming through, he can get those Greaves. He can definitely get 2 Lotuses off in a fight. He can get those Greaves off once or twice as well. That's a lot. It's a lot of protection. It's a lot of regen coming out from the Dazzle. You know, the Shadow Wave being there as well. This is a whole lot of sustain coming out now from that Dazzle with that Aghanim Scepter being picked up. You want to make, what's that song coming through from the Nagasiren? He's going to be in the smoke tree. The Rubber's going to be there now as well. Actually, they want to fight into the blood, right? He's just moving himself away, but look at the damage just from that rupture. Sweden Strong though, the overgrowth with BT. Just yet, the Snow don't want to do. That's going to be a really nice catch out. Can he take down B-Tune? The smoke beam comes through and he's still going to be able to chase down B-Tune with the song going. He just wants to run at the side of HellRaisers. He gets a kill on the solo. Now the BKB was off B-Tune. Does he want to go back into another one? Yeah, you want to go for that side. Look at this now, the Snowball. There's the BKB refresh. He get the kill, but he's just ripping through the top and he does it even more. Look at how fast he is as well. The Kiyotaki just has to dive himself away from the remnant. The Hex as well from that poison touch. They've got the control Navi. They've got the turnaround in these fights, and HellRaisers, it's so good for them that they've got these 2 lanes of racks because they are losing these fights.
Yeah, they're really losing these fights. The top tier 2 is what's keeping Navi in the game, though. Let's make it clear. Because they control this tower, they can be in the triangle, and then they have the access points to get to the lanes faster and also prepare themselves for a fight. Because in that earlier engagement, 2 of the supports of Navi were a little bit late to it, but they can get there in time because they have this tier 2, and their teammates have something to retreat back to. And it's quite big to have that one. So HellRaisers, I think they're very sad that they haven't taken that tower down earlier, because it's really giving the chances for Navi to win this game. They are still not out Rob for sure. And Seeker, he's going for Satan. He just wants to live. He sees that the damage, it is enough.
Yeah, and he did nearly 10,000 damage in that last fight. The fight with Casper as well. more than I think the entire side of HellRaisers put together. So he is ripping through here. Full back Satanic. That's just going to be a sustain. He's going to be in absolute beast in this, but he's caught out the ice shot tree there as well. And then featured here to pop that BKB. The overgrowth comes out now as well. It looks like Ember Spirit. Does he want to try and dive to the back line? He's looking sweet and strong. And while this is happening, there's a race back on the side of HellRaisers now as well, trying to deal with the physical damage. And out from the Bloodseeker is the target sign. Well, he's screen it inside the pit. Can he take down this Roche quick enough? There's going to be the Aggrum Scepter there as well inside the, on the Roshan. So he might be able to... But the fight is breaking out. Ricky is going to go down in against the sustaining. There's going to be the Shell Draven in there as well. Ricky's just surviving through all of this. It's a song. He might have the lockdown. Well, Kiyotaka, that's going to be BKB through this, but he want to use the song to make it secure the yes, secure the aim, and the team, and the Aggrum on the Roshan. Now the fight can break out. They clean up 3. Can he make it 4? They're going to be able to take out a rampage on Kiyotaka. Really good reset with that song to make sure they get the Roshan.
Looks
Oh,
like
And they
someone
just lose 4
disconnected.
heroes on the side of Navi, make it 5 with the buyback of the Ricky.
Dire
And that
wins.
should be it, man. 10 minutes, it has been one, maybe even more. It has been one big fight separating HellRaisers from a victory, right? Navi, they were so close to losing this game every single time, but they persist, right? They have persisted ever since they got that BKB on the Seeker. But in the end, you know, that one fight, it can always come. You can always make that one mistake. And HellRaisers, I think they finally understood just how they need to approach the fight. Never commit. Just go slowly. There is going to be a mistake.